Wednesday morning, the 11th. As you can hear, it's raining. Greenhouse is flooding. So it rains so much that the tote is, I don't know what you want to call it at this moment. Just trying to assess damage. Not really damage, assess the mess. So just push the 2x10 up, which is not a big deal, it's just because it's floating. But it's causing it to leak back here because it can't drain. So all the plants themselves are okay. They're still getting some nutrient. Not that they're doing all that well anyways, but I need to get in here with the wet vac, suck the water out, get that thing to stop floating and get back to normal, and I'll have to check that. But then the other problems, looks like you lost 6 or 7 boards in the adjoining fence with the neighbors here. These fences suck. Pretty much anytime there's a big wind, somebody's fence or parts of the fence fall down. Trash can and barrels upside down. This part of the fence isn't bad, but this part of the fence is leaning real bad. It doesn't look like, well, if we get more wind it's going to lean, but it's okay right now. Hopefully it'll stop raining tomorrow. Well, I guess I spoke too soon. That's just starting to flex, so I probably need to get out here and pound one of these fence posts in here to keep it from collapsing the rest of the way. So anyways, that's the state of things this morning. Well, Saturday the 30th. I've had things shut off in here. Hope that the plants are surviving. They had a fair amount of nutrient in there. These things barely starting to root. It's just been too cold, so I think they're just kind of taking their sweet time. I'm guessing most of the strawberries are, well, there's some little roots starting to come out of there, but they're not, I mean, they're mostly dead, right? There's a little root coming out, but it was an experiment. This one looks like it's doing the best. No real root. There's just a nub. You can barely see the nub there. So anyways, nothing's dead except for, you know, they're a little crispy, but they're not dead. Cucumber, it's gimping along. There's the other cucumber. That's dying out. Something broke or it's not getting enough water. So that's probably the first casualty. Anyways, in the greenhouse, we actually have sun today for the first time in like a week and a half. The toad is floating, so I need to suck all the water out of there and get everything back in running order again. And hopefully that's it, unless we get another wind/rainstorm. The transplants, those are all tomatoes, and then all tomatoes, and then there's a couple cherry tomatoes. So they look like they're growing. They already had just water in the bottom, and just did a transplant from those Oasis plugs into just a regular potting mix. So that's really all that's going on inside here. It's about 90ish. I haven't adjusted that thermometer yet, so, but not a huge deal. Anyways, that's the updates for the inside. Outside, nothing going on. I mean, I planted some radishes and some carrots. I don't know if I had those finished when I talked about it the other day, but they're not going to sprout for another week or so. All the fencing. Yeah, I'll just go show the fencing because that way I can document that and do it all at the same time. So slammed a T-post in over here, and I'm going to wire that up. But you can see how rickety things are. Talk to the neighbors, and I'm going to call the property management and, you know, let the property management deal with what they're supposed to do. So we'll see if I can get some of that wire threaded through. These panels are pretty tight. And then this is what I did last year, so I just need to get some wires through, but these are there's a lot more space in there. And then over on this side he put part of that back together, but the whole bottom is all just rotted out, so you know, it's gonna have to get repaired. And backyard is the Okefenokee swamp, because when they built this they didn't do any drainage, so it all drains right here in the middle. Again, that's stuff I did last year. It's just easier to slam a T-post in instead of waiting for them to come out and do what they're supposed to do. And then I've got two out here, as I don't know if I ended up showing that last week. I don't think so. So anyways, I grabbed this what's this, a 1x3. It's not doing a ton, but then there's a T-post. It was raining its butt off when I did that one, so anyways, it's just there's a brace, and same with the other one. So I'll thread a wire around there. It'll just keep it from falling against the house. Other than that, it blew that plastic 55-gallon drum all the way down to the other side of the yard. Knocked over the green waste can. And the greenhouse itself doesn't look like it took any damage. It's really just the sides here that were flapping, and just keeping them from flapping all over the place. Yeah, I mean, that's really the only thing that I can see damage-wise. I don't see any rips, considering that the wind was, you know, gusting up to like 40 miles an hour. Everything else is fine. So, like I said, gonna wire up the post, and then I guess weed out these the weeds that are in the bucket. These are all the runners, so I stuck those in dirt. I think the same day that I did the last video, just seeing to get them to root so they're a little healthier. So while they have the umbilical going to the main plant, they can still get nutrients while they're trying to root. So it's only been a week. I don't really want to disturb them yet, so we'll give them another week and see what's hiding under there, and then I can clip some of those out and then clean up the rest of the dead stuff that's in there. But some of the stuff may be dead, but you know, that umbilical winds out to some of these other plants. So looks like the potatoes took a beating. They were just experiments anyways, right? So, and like I said, all that's weeds. So just need to clean these buckets up and get them ready for some transplants in a couple weeks. And that's what's left of the cucumber hydroponic tote, which I need to get cleaned up and get it ready. I'm probably going to take this, put it in the greenhouse, and you know, instead of cucumber in a barrel, it'll be cucumber in a tote. And I might grab that big tote and wrap it in black plastic, or the big barrel, put it in black plastic and bring it and set it up in here. Probably right here where it won't be too much in the way, and then if I have to service the tubes here, I can still get to it. But if I wrap it in black plastic, it'll help absorb some of the heat, keep it a little bit warmer. It hasn't been cold, it's just been wet and windy. So anyways, other than that, that's all the updates for this week. I wish these were a little taller so we can see a little more progress, but you know, at the mercy of Mother Nature. Just a quick side update. So This is just your normal drip line and then your 1/4 inch feeder line. It's inexpensive, but the problem is, as you poke the holes in, they either wear out, or obviously the lifespan of this stuff, you might get a year or 3. This is 2nd year, I think, on this side. So it's not that bad if you had to replace everything, but then you'd have to repoke every one of these lines, redo the ends. And what I wanted to do is put like the 3/4 or 1 inch PVC as a feeder tube, and then you get these grommets and you drill the grommets in, and then you would either replace the grommets and then just slide the tubes in because it's snug fit, and off you go. But the price of grommets, I think probably because of the stuff that's been going on this last year, is through the roof. Some of them want $1 or $2 a grommet, and I need like 50 grommets. So I'm not putting $100 in grommets just to make life easier. Now I have found them a little bit cheaper, but I mean, they're really a 20-cent or 30-cent item, and if you need 50, you know, you buy them. But that's the problem, is trying to find them or find them in stock at a reasonable price. Ideally, if I could get rid of the drip line as the feeder tube, put in PVC, which I've already bought. Did I buy the tubes? No, I didn't buy the tubes because I didn't have the grommets. So basically I need 3 10-foot pieces of, like, you know, 3/4 or 1 inch PVC, a couple elbows and a couple of caps, and you're off and running, and just drill all the holes for the grommets. So looks like the one that I thought was leaking that I was going to plug, which I couldn't find bigger than a 1/4 inch plug. So it's either this one that popped out, or it's this one that's actually plugged. So I'm going to fix this one because that was a feeder tube, and hope that that was it. If not, this is the one that's leaking. I'm going to zoom in, not that it really matters or you care. And it's just a 1/4 inch plug, which is just filling a hole where a feeder tube was. I'm going to cut it out, splice it, and put it back together, because that was the cheapest scenario. The cheap splices are $1. So it's just, you know, cutting the hole out and splicing it back together. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so I got video splices all over the place, but like I said before, there's no real editing going on here. It's just throwing stuff together. So as I said, and this is one of those cheap spring thermometers, right? There's a big just coil in there. So that one's obviously way off. Haven't been calibrated. So I was at the Dollar Tree and got these ridiculously cheap just normal thermometer, and it's reading, I don't know what, about 95-ish directly in the sun, right where it's sitting. So we'll call it 90-ish. And then I threw one up on the back side just to get a gauge on the different temperatures. As you can see here, that's I don't know what, about 78, give or take. So, but this is sitting in the shade. And then we still have the electronic unit that sends into the house. So that catches, and I put it on the back side because it being black, hopefully be a little cooler. But it gets a fair amount of sun most of the day. So, but anyways, so we'll call it 80-ish in the greenhouse, not you know, 140. But anyways, you know, sometimes the dollar store is your friend. Okay, with all these splicing all over the videos, or is this gonna be first? I don't know. Had a lot of problems with the broken tubes, and I broke down and went and picked up 3 more of the vinyl fence posts, and they're drying right now. I just put them in, so I had to drain everything out of those top 2 and the other 2 because I'm missing some O-rings. I don't have any backups, so I had to drain them, and they're just gonna kind of hang out with whatever liquid was in the sponge. They should be fine. Other than that, just waiting a couple hours for this stuff, for the sealant to dry, so these things don't leak. That's all tacky and whatnot. So the longer it'll dry, the better off it is. Then I can get things plugged in and back up and running, and hopefully get things leveled out. Ditching the 4-inch net pots, I'll use those in the barrel and in the tote for what I'm going to grow in there, and get rid of these other tubes. Everything will be sitting nice and square and pretty, just like the other ones. So that's it. So splice it onto the end or the front of the rest of the videos, throw it together and upload it, and that's what we've got. Today's, like I said, January 31st, so tomorrow's February already. That's it. All right, 8 o'clock at night. Just getting everything, try not to bleach everything out with the lights back in here. So I got the mini shop light going on there, and I got the handheld jobber here. So everything's been drying for a little bit. Like I said, switching over to all the 3-inch net cups. Some of those had doubles, but anyways, I gained, I don't know, probably 12 or 14 more holes available. So we'll see what gets put in there, but again, try not to bleach everything out. So everything's filling up. Don't see any leaks as of yet. Hoping there's no leaks. If not, that means I have to start all over and re-silicone things. But I mean, that stuff's been drying for, I don't know, 3-4 hours now. Everything's looking pretty good. I did extend everything out a little bit more, just like the other, about another foot, give or take. Got all the lines in, and let's see if I can get a shot of the water. So got a pretty good steady stream in there. It's just it's got to build up. Like I said, I just barely turned everything on, and you know, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, don't see anything leaking, but anything can happen. So I just wish I would have started this whole process with these vinyl tubes. They're 16 bucks a piece, $2 each for the end caps, so 21 bucks. But then those tubes aren't going anywhere. I mean, from a fence post perspective, I think they're rated like 20 or 30 years. It's just you know, you got basically $100 in tubes just to you know, just for the posts themselves, not counting all the other connectors. Talk about connectors. So those top hat grommets, found them on Amazon, pretty decent price. So they're coming in I think Tuesday, and I already picked up the PVC, so that'll be part of the next project, is getting rid of the cheap drip feeder line, but I have to find the tubing to feed everything before I go ripping everything apart. So got a price on all the rock wool grow bags. Can't seem to find the cocoa core ones around, but basically the local shop, it's about the same price to get them on Amazon, and then I could just I could just go and pick them up, and just have to figure out how many that I need, and basically get them purchased. Just waiting for these seedlings to get a little bigger, then I can actually start doing some transplanting. So other than that, it's late, I'm tired, and I need to cobble all these little bits and pieces of videos together and do an upload. So we'll catch you next week.